What's up guys, welcome back or to the channel, and today we're doing more rust repair. If you guys didn't catch the last video, we ripped off the fender flare in the back here. We basically painted all around where the fender flare attaches to the body. We also painted this entire section in like this gravel guard like texture, and honestly came out great. I do have one piece here where we sat on a rock and it's still a little dented in. There was a rust spot here, there was a rust spot there. Overall, came out pretty good, and I refinished this fender. Fender looks great. I still got to do, or I should say the fender flare. I still got to do this fender flare, and I've already started on the other side. So today we're going to be attacking this side. And as you can see on this side, I've already taped it off a bit. There is a bit of rust starting here, and the back, there is a bunch of rust already starting in areas over here. We don't have the same Swiss cheese that we had happening before, but there is a bit of rust going on over here and in the back here. So we're gonna grind this whole section down, grind that whole section down, and we should be good to go. At that point, we're gonna go and hit it with the same stuff that we did on that side, the gravel guard, so that we get that nice like bed liner like texture. And yeah, should be good to go. The last thing I'll do is refinish the fender flares, and then we should be ready to take it to the shop and get my front axle brackets welded in, and finally get back out on the trail. But for now, let's start cleaning this up, let's grind it away, and then we can prep it and paint it. And there goes two batteries again. And if you guys remember those abrasives that I was using, look at these things now. All that's left is the backing plate. So you can say I got my money's worth. Definitely. I'll show you guys what a new one looks like in a minute when I go upstairs and grab one. But we got this section done. Came out really well. No rust left over here. We got pretty much the whole fender done, and all we have left is this section, which I will do with the next two batteries. Pretty much exactly how far we got with the last time, so I'm not surprised. And yeah, so we'll go charge up the two batteries. They don't take very long to charge, should be about an hour or 45 minutes to an hour each. Then we'll come back, we'll finish off this inside edge here, and we'll finish off this whole section here, and it should be good to go. But so far so good. I did touch the tape a little bit over here, so I don't know how that's gonna look when we go to paint, if it's gonna come out of the fender flare a little bit or not, but it is what it is. And at this point, I really don't care. I really don't mind. I think it'll look fine. I think I did leave myself a little bit of grace with the tape anyway, so I should be okay. But so far so good, and I'm really happy that that rust spot there didn't go all the way through, as well as this one. So let's go, let's charge everything up, and we'll come back here and we'll finish it off. Batteries are charged now, ready to go. And if you're wondering why everything looks so clean, I've got a problem where I cannot leave this thing dirty. Any of my tools, actually any tool that I have, I always just end up cleaning it if it's dirty. I don't know why, but I guess if you spend this much money on something, you should take care of it. And I just try to take the best care of everything I have. And apparently, you can see, I'm working my ass off to try to make this turd look a little bit better. It's coming together slowly, but as you can see, I do try to clean everything, even inside here. Every single time we go off-roading, I do detail the inside of the cab. And yeah, like I don't post 4 detailing videos for you guys every single month, because I'm not gonna bore you guys by showing you me cleaning the Jeep every single time, but I do clean it every single time we go out. So that being said, I've got the old pad that we just used that I just showed you guys. Look at this thing, and here's the new pad. Yeah, that's the same pad. That's the backing there. So you can see you get a good amount of life out of these things. And this is a 2-inch pad. They do come in like 2-inch, 3-inch. You can get them all the way up to a 5-inch, I think. but they are pretty good. They do the job, and they do have a little bit of give to them. So they do contour nice with all the little divots and uneven spots and the edges and whatever else. But I am going to use a brand new one right now because this one's done, but I like having that edge. And when you have that edge, it's easy to cut yourself like a nice border so that you don't have to worry about getting too close to the tape. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to just cut a nice line right across, and then I'll have a nice little bit more of a buffer so I don't touch the tape and I don't have to worry about getting into the tape, even though I left myself a second tape line there just so that we don't get into the actual tape that I'm going to be using for paint, so that it stays nice and crisp and then we get a good line out of it. But let's go, let's hit it with this. We've got a little section left and then we'll be ready to paint it. But so far so good. I think it's looking all right. I might have to hit this with a sanding disc after just to get a little bit more of that pitting out of there, but overall not too bad. And there goes 2 more batteries. And we are covered again. Like, there's a nice layer on me. But I need to go and charge 1 more battery to finish this one section. A little bit of the edge over here. And just to touch up a few spots, you can see there's a little bit of primer left on a few spots. I know that that's not going to make a difference when I go to paint, but I rather just finish it all perfect and get it all down to the metal. If I'm gonna go this far, I might as well do it right. So let's go, let's charge up that battery, let's finish this off, and then we can hit it with the primer. All right, battery's charged, and we refinished this fender while we were up there waiting for the battery to charge. So now we've got 2 good ones. If you guys remember, we did this one last time and it's looking fresh. We still got to do this one, but at least this side's looking good so far. And we'll do this one, and after we get the actual Jeep fixed and we take it for a wash this week, I'll do the front too, because there's no point in me trying to get all that dust and dirt off right now. I'm just going to take it and wash the whole Jeep. And yeah, I did clean it again. It's not like I spend that long though. It takes like 5 minutes with a multi-fiber, with a microfiber. And yeah, now let's go. All right, I've taped everything off, and now I'm just giving it one last cleaning with some alcohol to make sure there's no dust or contaminants on the body before I paint. It is now 1 in the morning, so everything is nice and dry. I think it's nice and primed. I did end up doing 2 layers. I usually do 3, but because of all the rust spots on that side, we ended up using a bit more primer. Not a big deal. 2 layers is still good enough. As you can see, this was the worst spot here, and it came out all right. I think once we hit that with the actual gravel guard, it should look a lot better. And over here, this was a pretty bad rust spot. This one came out pretty good. We had one over here that wasn't too bad, and all the rest came out nice and even, nice and flat. So this side is actually pretty straight. So now let's go, let's hit it with the gravel guard. I've got 3 cans here, so it should take about 12 to 17 hours to dry. It's 1 a.m. now, so probably by the time I get home from work tomorrow, because tomorrow is Monday, I'll be able to go and put all the fenders back on and everything. So let's hit it now. It'll cure by the time we're done work, and then I'll come back and we'll put the fenders on. There we go. There's the first layer. We'll let that flash off. These take about 5 minutes per layer to flash off, so not too bad. Then we'll come back, we'll hit it with another layer, or we're not gonna come back, I'm gonna wait. But we'll end up using all 3 of these cans. And yeah, so let's go. Let's wait a minute and I'll hit it with the second layer. There we go. That's the second layer. And you can see it already has the texture to it. It's looking pretty good. I think I'm getting a bit better at spraying it. This side looks a lot more even than I did on that side. I did get a little bit right there and right there where I sprayed a little bit too much. That will be covered up by the wheel well. That was because the can was ending and it was kind of not spraying the way it should. But without making excuses for myself, I will cover this on the next coat and it will look pretty good. But so far, I'm super happy with how it's coming out. Here's that rust spot. Not too terrible. And the rest is looking nice. The texture is actually exactly how I wanted it. So I'm actually super happy so far. And here's our third layer, looking pretty good. There is a little bit of splatter over here in a couple areas, but we'll catch that on the next coat as well. But so far, I'm pretty happy. Like I said over here, spatter again. And yeah, I think I'm gonna just keep shaking the can and try to get it to mix a little bit better, but so far so good. That's 7 layers. I know, sounds like a lot, but it does give you a nice thick coating. And I don't know why it gives you a nice thick coating on the floor, but the floor actually doesn't get painted. It's like a dust. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you. It's weird. Yeah, I don't want to move it too much so it doesn't kick up. But yeah. So if you are using this stuff, be careful. It does create a lot of dust or whatever that may be. Maybe that's because I spray it from so far away that it just atomizes and lands on the floor. That's probably what's happening. But it does come out really nice. I'm super happy with the finish today. And this was our worst spot over here. Not too bad. A little bit of a divot. Nothing too crazy. I think I can come back and hit that a couple more times and it'll even itself out. But everywhere else, all the corners, all the edges along the inside, all the way down, everything came out great, especially in here, this edge. And I know I painted in there as well. That isn't a big deal because once I clean all the mud off of all of this stuff was already pretty much clean. Once I clean all the mud off of there, then I won't have to really worry. I'll just spray all of that as well and it'll all look fresh. But we're gonna be getting new control arms and new tie rod, not new tie rod, sorry, new track bar in the back, as well as a few other goodies this week. So stay tuned for that. But right now, I'm gonna let this settle, let this dry. That took me about 35 minutes to hit that with a few coats there. I think I did about 7 light coats. And yeah, let's get out of here and let's go get some rust. Woo. Now that's a paint line. I'm super stoked with how this paint line came out. You can feel that there is a bit of thickness there, which is what I want. But the line is straight, which, let me tell you, was not easy. I measured 5 inches, so this is a 5-inch section that I did. From there all the way to here. If you're measuring here, this fender does taper up a little bit, so it's a little bit tricky measuring this section, but it's not that bad. As you can see, I got it pretty straight. And the texture on this, the best way to describe it is halfway between like a grip tape for a skateboard and a bed liner on a truck. so it feels kind of abrasive. It feels good, like it should hold up pretty well, and it is easy to recoat because it's all black and it is textured, so you don't really have to worry about doing sections. It's gonna look good either way. And as you can see, I did put the fender up. Our paint line came out great around the fender. The only thing that I'm gonna do right now is fix my rock lights. My rock lights here, I caught the wire while I was grinding. As you can see, the wire was in there. While I was doing the edge, it caught and it just snapped it. Not a big deal. I have more wire from when I wired up my LEDs inside of the spare there. If you guys don't remember that video, go check that out because those look really dope. But right now, I'm gonna grab a little bit of wire, solder that up, and we should be good to go. Well, the lights work. So looks like we did a good job. Not bad. Quick little fix there. And now I'm gonna attach my fenders, throw my shop lighting back up here. That's right. We've got that fancy shop lighting and it's 1000 lumens right there. So, let me straighten this one out. There we go. Much better. 1000 lumens on this one. 1000 lumens on this one. Not too bad. This is my workshop. So let's go. Let's throw the fenders on real quick. And we should be ready to take it to the shop and get it all fixed up and hit the trails. I'd say that looks pretty damn good to me. I know I need to clean it still, and that's the first thing I'm gonna do when I pick it up from the mechanic this week, once I get all those new brackets welded and all the new control arms in. But so far, it's looking great. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys would do this to your Jeeps or if you don't like the look, but personally, I think it looks great. The next thing that I think I'll be doing would be the corners here. I know that this one's getting a little eaten out, but that's because we need to do a mount on this side. So once I do the mount, then I think I'm gonna paint the corners because I will be finishing off that corner with new metal. And we're gonna paint this corner because it's down to the primer, hit a couple trees, and just your everyday trail damage. So yeah, that's gonna be the next project. I am planning to do something about the roof. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm gonna do something about the roof. But later on this week, we will be getting new control arms, new track bar in the back, new bracket welded on in the front, and a few other goodies. So stay tuned for that because this thing is ready to hit the trails as soon as I get it back. And let me tell you, I cannot wait. So that's about it for today's video. That's about gonna wrap it up for all the repairs and all the stuff I'm taking care of today. I will be getting a new winch line. We do need to replace the winch line because I destroyed the last one. I'll explain more on that in the next video when I do replace it, but we need to do a few other things. So next video, I will be getting the Jeep back from the mechanic and I will be getting it trail ready. So stay tuned for that, guys. You won't want to miss it because yeah, she's ready to go back on the trails and so am I. I've been itching to go. It's been the height of the season and I haven't been able to go out, but that's what happens when you play hard. You got to fix hard. So yeah. But it should be fixed this week. So thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, ride safe out there. Peace.